What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, and for today's episode, we have a special double reaction review of both the pay-per-views this weekend or this week.
Pay-per-view and PLE. Let's get it correct since it's such a big deal nowadays.
You're right. Premium live events and pay-per-views. Okay. With that being said, we're going to cover Forbidden Door and fresh off the press or fresh off of a watch, Money in the Bank. I go by Jay, your host, the one and only, the true babyface. Your babyface's favorite babyface, your mother's favorite babyface. But without further ado, I'm going to pass it to the one, the only, my partner in crime. Go ahead, take it away from here.
He is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is me, and I am Hero. Welcome back to the Monday Night Wave, baby. And since it's not a real episode, I refuse to use a nickname today. So Loner, Jay, as you like to tell these plebeians, these sheep out here. What do you want to pot about? Oh wait, you already told the people. You already told the sheep what we're gonna pot about. You people are fickle.
Fickle.
Follow Monday Night Wave on X/Twitter. By the way,
yeah.
Since we're talking about
follow us on the
fickle
socials, yo. Follow us on the socials at the Monday Night Wave on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube, and then follow us on Spotify too, man. We're trying to get these ratings up.
Yes, please.
I need to add. I need to. What's that ad they do? Is it Blue Chew? I need to add so we can get paid over here.
Yeah. Well, shit. Honestly,
Manscaped.
Speaking of ads, if you guys, feel groggy in the morning, I have the perfect thing for you. It's called Meek You Up. That's right, Meek You Up. Wake up to the sounds of a nigga from Philly saying, "Get up." All you got to do is put in the promo code WAV. That's right, WAV for Meek You Up. If you do it in 5 minutes, you could even get a Rick Ross to wake you up. Don't wake up to those boring normal alarms that scare the shit out of you. Get Meek You Up. Get up! It sounds great. It's perfect. Code WAV, Monday Night Wave, baby.
This man's great. With that being said, that coupon does not work in Vancouver, Canada.
No, and please
you can't do no Ross. It don't work over there.
No, right, and if you do go to the online site, use a VPN because I am not liable to what happens if you Google meekmeup.com. But if you do use WAV, you will save some money.
Meek You Up sounds crazy.
Get up!
Oh, fucking shit. Fuck. It's a good day to pod about wrestling, people. With that being said, because it's the most recent one, we're going to jump into Money in the Bank.
Wait,
but before we get into that, we have some news.
Shit, my bad. Yeah. I thought you forgot for a second. My bad.
Sometimes I do. You be right there helping me out, but this time,
you on your shit.
With the first wave of news, just giving a congrats to Angelo Dawkins on being married.
Yes, congratulations.
I thought that was really cool. I saw that Ford was also his. What do they call them? The people who marry you.
Damn it! I know this because I have a friend that's one. Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart.
What is it called?
Not a deacon, not a preacher.
No.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. People are screaming at their phones.
People who marry people.
Yes.
I don't know. But yes, he's a person who marries a person. People who marry people. He was the one, or Ford was the one who married Dawkins and his wife. I thought that was really cool. And congrats to them. I don't really have anything much more than that.
No, yeah, it's awesome. And they've been together for a while too. So, yeah. Dope.
The next piece of news here is fresh out of the pay-per-view. We have the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Mr. You Can't See Him himself, John Cena, announces his retirement from the WWE.
Yes, retirement tour.
Retirement tour. Because I was a little confused when he came out. He had the merch. He said, this is the last time. And I read the shirt and said, "This is the last time tour." So, from what it looks like is that he's going to go on tour with the WWE. Basically, it says he's going to be able to do 30 to 40 dates next year, which is a lot. That is a lot of Cena. And I hope he's going to get the farewell tour that he needs. I think this has to be the biggest showcase for WWE. I don't care about what happens at Mania and world title. But no, this one is the most important thing to me, is that because John Cena is like the staple for at Ruthless Aggression era until like tail end of like the PG era. Like, he carried the fucking brand. He said 2 decades, 20 years, he's definitely carried the brand. Everybody's done had a match with Cena. Like, show out for him. Like,
Yeah, man.
Go fucking crazy.
Broke the record for Make-A-Wish. I mean, I was there when he first debuted. I stopped watching wrestling for a while, as I've said multiple times, but when I came back, it was a little bit before he started doing part-time. And man, he's been wrestling for a long ass time. He's part of a lot of people's lives, a lot of people's childhoods. I almost teared up when he was talking. I was like, God damn, bro. Like, I mean, we knew, like, I know, like, we're tapped in, so like we know wrestling media and stuff. So it's like he's been hinting at it for a while, at least the last like year and a half or so. So it's not necessarily a surprise. It's just still like one of those moments, like, damn, it's really happening. Like, the shit is real. Because I was like, oh no, it's a work. Someone's gonna come out here and he's gonna hit the 5.
I was waiting.
We're good. Yeah, and, I was like, man, it's a bad time to release Jinder Mahal. Where's he at? Someone needs to come out here. But no, it was real as shit. And man, we get a year of him. And I was watching some of the press conference before we linked up, and he said, like, yeah, the retirement tour isn't necessarily the end. He talked to the higher ups. He still wants to be a part of the universe, and he wants to do it for a consistent amount of time. So I don't know if that means like maybe a part-time GM, or maybe he's a manager, or maybe he's just working behind the scenes doing producing. But he wants to be a part. He still wants to help. He wants to help the younger people, the younger talent. He mentioned, he still watches everything. He's only announcing the end of his in-ring compatibility. He's not saying he's going to go away forever type of thing. He will be back.
This is the last time of him in the ring.
Yeah.
With that being said, I know I came out early on Twitter and said that, like, I think at Mania it should be him versus Cody as like a passing of the torch kind of thing. As I sat back and thought about it more, that still sounds great. I would also like to slide in the idea of maybe like one last match between him and Randy. So with that being said, who would you like to see his Mania moment be with? Where's your head at with it?
Well, I mean, card is always subject to change, but I'm still of the belief that we're going to get Cody Rock. So I wouldn't mind a Cena, Cena Randy. Randy said that one of his dream matches is to have a match with Cena again at Mania or whatever. So you're breaking 2 windows with 1 stone if you book it that way. It gives something Randy to do. Cena obviously will be there, and because it looks like Punk is officiant. I think officiant is the word. I'm sorry. Randy's a really good choice, depending on how things be booked. Cody would be a great choice as far as, yes, the passing of the torch type of thing. But I think him and Rock are locked in. But again, card's always subject to change. Bloodline shit might go crazy. Some injuries might happen. Who knows? So, but if I had to choose, I would say Randy Orton or Punk. But I think we're locked in for Punk and Seth also. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Vegas is about to be lit. It's about to be fucking crazy. You're about to get like potential Rock showing up in Vegas. Some kind of bloodline match happening in Vegas, along with the retirement match for Cena. It's they got that on lock for sure. I did see something funny where somebody had tweeted that like Tony, you got to take Double or Nothing out of Vegas like next year. You got to go somewhere else. because it's just too much going on during that time frame, that it's not a good idea to like do that back to back after Mania. So hopefully, they got something planned out. Maybe you do like fucking Atlantic City, or maybe you do like fucking Miami or something. I don't know.
Atlantic City would be dope. Miami would be dope. I mean, I don't know if his ego would allow him, but I do agree that it's a good idea. It's not like a loss or you're taking a shot. You're just doing something different,
business.
And you're doing something different, and also it's business. You don't want to oversaturate the market, and I mean, granted, Vegas is like a neutral location, so it is safe to argue that people will travel there. People like going to Vegas, especially if you like gambling or like drinking, and it usually has good weather. So I wouldn't be surprised, whether it's ego or whether you use that argument. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, no, we'll stay in Vegas. But I do think it's a good idea if he, I think it's a good idea if he changed locations. Atlantic City would be cool because it's like Jersey-ish. You get that.
Still in the New York area.
Yeah, you get that MJF pop or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, there's still casinos.
I think the tweet said like Texas Hold'em would be a good little spin in Texas or something like that. Like, there's plenty of options out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Get some Boozy out there, or Morgan Waller, or the Buckle Bunny. Damn, what's her name? I'm a Buckle Bunny. Yeah, I mean, because you ain't getting Beyonce. So, he ain't getting Beyonce. So.
Definitely not happening. Oh fuck. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into Money in the Bank. Looks like first match on the list was the men's Money in the Bank match between Andrade, Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso,
LA Knight,
and Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
So, going into this match, there was only one world champion. That was Drew, right? Is that
yes.
Yeah. So like optimism was mad fucking high. Like, I think the match was great. I thought like Andrade
looked, like way taller and like compared to everybody. Like, everyone was short as hell compared to
him. One of the to start off, energy was great. Match was entertaining for sure. I think entertaining up until like the last bit, but like the for example, the fucking Spanish fly onto the fucking ladder from Andrade
was fire.
And Carmelo, like that shit was fucking great.
Yeah, man. Gable's German suplex barrage, and then this nigga suplex the ladder. It's lit. Put him in the Hall of Fame right now. He suplexed the fucking ladder. That reminds me of the old Final Fantasy game where you could like fight a train and you can suplex a train.
Yeah.
So he suplex the ladder. That shit is lit. He put a fucking inanimate object in a wrestling move. That's fucking up. Nigga, that's hilarious.
That's dope. I'm not gonna lie. That's not it. That's fly as fuck.
Honestly, that's my spot of the night. Like, there was a lot of crazy, great shit that happened, but especially in the women's match. But man, I don't know, man. Suplexing the ladder is just there's tears in my eyes right now, like real seawater.
He was getting active.
Yeah, he was.
Chad was definitely getting active. There was a belly to belly onto the ladder, like over the rope. Like, yo, Chad was fucking working.
Man, there was a spot where LA Knight gives Chad the backbreaker on the ladder. That shit looked rough, but it was dope as hell. But yeah, man, all the dudes, they were all killing it. They seemed in sync. There was, Andrade kills Melo. He did the Sunset Power Bomb. It's similar to what he did to Finn Balor in 2019. He killed, and I want to say that was the year Finn got married because he went on a month vacation after that. He killed and the way Finn's, I don't know if you saw it, but the way Finn did it, like he bounced up even higher. It looked like Montez jumping or some shit. That shit was rough. But he killed Melo. That shit was great. Man, Gable does a backdrop. The ladder that was set up on the ring apron to the announcer table that was there, placed very 2K-ish. Gable does a backdrop to LA Knight onto that. That shit looked rough. Yeah, man, there was a lot of good spots, especially with the ladders. They didn't use any other weapons. There was no tables or whatever. I mean, the women used the tables, so there was no. Yeah, a lot of good spots with the ladder. And there was the last spot. I mean, The last thing I have written down is pretty much the ending, which is fucking Drew, fucking Tom Brady's a ladder into Jay.
That shit was fucking tight though.
Yeah,
Like to just take the ladder and just throw it at a nigga like with with accuracy, like that was kind of dope.
Yeah, he lawn darted the shit out of it.
He fucking did. I guess. Well, since we're already here, Drew ends up winning this match, and I joked about it. Like I was watching it, and as like the interest was going on, I was like, Drew could just win this match and then reach like challenge Priest, and then fucking Punk interferes, jokingly. Like I was just throwing out shit for fucking giggles and shit like that. And when I saw him win, I was like, okay, well, I'm half correct here. I don't want to be right on the other half. Let's just say, Drew is supposed to like go home. Drew never goes home. He never just takes his winnings and just leaves. He's the guy at the casino who wins $50,000. He's like, I'm gonna bet it all. It's like you had it. Why did you?
I mean,
why are you here?
He said he was going to win it, just like he did in Elimination Chamber. Like he's lost the title matches due to interference, but besides Royal Rumble, he's won every fucking big match. He's won Elimination Chamber. Yeah, he didn't win the Royal Rumble, but yeah, he won Chamber. He won Money in the Bank. It's like he's OP as shit. And I thought him and Jay would be too obvious of a choice to win. I assumed LA Knight. I assumed Logan Paul would interfere to stop LA Knight, but no. Instead the interference was. Well, actually, no. There was no interference. Drew wins that shit clean. We don't get interference until in another match. But I would. Yeah, you said that shit, and I was like, yeah, that seems like it's the way they're going, and it didn't pan out exactly the way that you joked about. The way that they actually did it, and we'll talk about it when we get there. I liked, but I honestly I kind of wanted Gable to win. I thought,
I needed somebody else to get it.
Yeah,
like there's an opportunity to make somebody else a star. I think you could have did the same angle with Drew. Exactly how everything played out without him having Money in the Bank. You could have did it by making such and such match a triple threat. But I think that like with the guys that were in the ring at the time, a Melo in the Bank, like the storylines right there are great. I think you can do something with Melo and he has the briefcase. You can do the same thing with, Chad. I think Chad having the briefcase and him finding a new team to protect him. I think there's storylines there.
When we get to
LA
the match,
Knight,
when we get to the match, I'll explain, or I'll give a reason why I think it was also a good idea to do what they did with the case. Even though, let's just get to it. Let's get to the next match.
We'll get to it.
All right.
Yeah, just overall thoughts are just that they could have gave that to somebody else. I feel like there's bigger opportunities for somebody who could have been turned into a star that was not already a star. But yes, Drew wins it. From there, though, we get the Sammy versus Braun match. Off rip, Braun got new music, and
yes,
I see people hating on his entrance a lot. I like his old theme. I like the theme he had before this. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Apparently, the original one was the best one. The last one was okay. I was kind of warming up to it, but I like the original one. This one is not bad either, but I can honestly do with all that. It's not screamo, but it's a particular kind of yelling. Yeah, I'm kind of good to me because it doesn't really fit. To me, it doesn't fit his character the way that they're screaming. It's very, I don't know, but I don't know. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I agree with what DT tweeted though, where it's like you could have waited. You could have tested this out last Monday, or don't do it on a PLE. Don't debut the new music. I mean, especially if he wasn't going to win. So.
It's true.
They could have did that shit tomorrow. 2 days from now, or again Monday.
How'd you feel about the match? Like, how did you feel?
So, overall, I really enjoyed the match. It was, to me, the match fit based on all the other matches. This was the very slow and methodical match where Braun was like just for the first half he was slow, methodical, just beating the shit out of Sammy, like using power game, slamming him all over the place. Sammy, of course, does his comeback. Then it starts getting more competitive, but it's not as fast paced as the Priest Seth match or as the women's ladder match or anything, but it's still like, yeah, it was the way that they told the story. It was good in the sense that it was different than everything else. And it's a Sammy match. I love Sammy. I think the match was good. I'm not going to say it's like a 5-star match or anything. It wasn't like great, but I think the match served well. They told a story. Sammy eventually beats Braun. I don't want to say easy peasy, but he got over his britches. He overthought it. Fucking Sammy, as Gable said before the Gunther match, where it's like, you have a talent as the other dog to where you will find a way. You will get this win. You'll squeak it out somehow. It's not cheap, not in a cheap way, but you'll find that window of opportunity and you will capitalize on it.
There you go.
And that's exactly
that's the thing with Sammy, is that Sammy will find his pockets where he can, like, you make one mistake, he takes advantage of that. He's like the ultimate opportunist when it comes to like mistakes happening in the ring. He's not overpowering Braun. He's not overpowering like Gunther. He's just waiting for them to fuck up, and then he just like runs with it. And that's been like his game plan.
There was good spots in this match. I didn't at this point I was eating, so I didn't like write any down. But there was a moment where Braun like jump clothesline Sammy on the announcer table, where the mics kind of fucked up for Corey and Cole. They couldn't hear each other for a moment. That was interesting. I don't ever recall ever seeing that before. But the
Hurricanrana.
Yeah, the
only thing I didn't see, there was no spear. He didn't get a spear off.
No, that's why he didn't win.
Of course. I was like, this man, every spear that he tried to attempt, that man Sammy jumped over him, like it was Mario. He was like, nah, bro, I'm not getting hit by that. If I get hit by that, it's a wrap.
Exactly.
Overall, I thought the match. Yeah, it's true. I felt like the match was cool. I don't have like anything too crazy to say about it. I did enjoy it. I'm very interested to see where the storyline goes, where Braun goes here, because now it's like, well, you got your shot. Now what do you do? And Sammy's about to head into SummerSlam, and I doubt that they're going to run it back. I mean, they could run it back, but I don't think there's a point to do it.
We might get that fatal 4-way that it looked like they were leaning towards with Ludwig and Sheamus, possibly. I mean, we don't know when Ludwig is going to be back. A cracked rib, he could be able to return by SummerSlam with the cracked rib. I think
pushing it.
It's a push, but I think it could work. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, he's going to have a SummerSlam match. I think Braun is going to have a SummerSlam match, and I think they're going to run it back. I just don't know if it'll be like 1v1.
It's possible. I also think you can do this like a rematch or run something back in like in Berlin. So like you still see Ludwig in Germany in the week or the month after.
Right.
Overall, dope match. I don't have anything more or less to say about it. It was just good. This is where we get the retirement announcement from Cena, and that leads into Seth versus Damian Priest.
Yes.
First off, your man is dripped out.
Dripped out.
Like the fit. Like it. He came out swagging.
Fucking fire.
My first takeaways is that like Seth was running them hands.
Man,
he was showing him, man, like
he was in his fucking bag. CrossFit Jesus, baby. Seth freaking Rollins. Come on, let's talk about it. That knee looked good, didn't it? That knee looked good, didn't it? Fans was working.
It was looking solid.
The match was way until we get the cash in. The match was really fire. It was
bro.
way better than I expected.
Leading to be my favorite match of the night until the fucking end. It was cooking, bro.
Yeah, that match was fucking fire. Like, him and Priest, they have good chemistry. They were killing it. There was that one little moment before before Drew comes out that was weird. I think Damian maybe he got rocked for a hot second and forgot to. It looked like he forgot to kick out. But shit happened. To me, it didn't ruin the match. I don't want to dwell on it, but it was a mistake. But mistakes happen.
Look, here's the thing. Coming off of like because before that, it's this power of like sorts where like they are battling with the suplex and the Falcon Arrow. Mm-hmm. So they're doing this like, oh, he's got him a suplex knee, and then Seth hits the meanest fucking Falcon Arrow, and I'm like, oh damn, and then he goes for the fucking pin, and it's 1, 2. Crowd says 3. Ref brings his hand up and say 2. But at this point, everybody's fucking confused because it sounded like a fucking 3. Like it looked like a 3. It sounded like a fucking 3. and I don't know if Priest missed the timing. I don't know if the music was for Drew supposed to hit a little bit earlier. I don't know if there was a concussion involved. Whatever the case may have been, it definitely threw me for a fucking loop because I'm sitting here like, okay, what the fuck happened? And then immediately like Drew comes out afterwards, and so now I was like, okay, was there a 3 count? Drew's cashing in right now. It just immediately turned to a triple threat match. Like, we have no like context of what the fuck just happened before all this. So now it's just like all hell breaks loose, and I guess like
it was very chaotic.
The belt didn't change hands. It was fucking crazy, bro. It was a lot to process.
It was a 3. He was supposed to. I'm pretty sure
he was definitely a 3.
He was supposed to. Yes, he was supposed to kick out because obviously, spoiler, he retains. But yeah, I think he was supposed to kick out because even if Drew's music did come on, I mean, as an opponent, like if I'm wrestling someone and I'm in the middle of a pin and someone's music starts, I'm not going to stop my pin. Nigga, please keep counting. And then I'll get the hell out the ring. So I don't know if the music was supposed to come on as a distraction because if you're in the middle of the pin, that shouldn't necessarily, logic-wise, if you're not going to stop that pin logically. No. I mean, if we're going to use logic, I mean, it's wrestling. We got to, use our disbelief a little bit, but logically, no. So I don't think the music was supposed to come on. I think he missed his pin. And he might have just got his bell rung for a hot second. I'm not going to say he was concussed or anything, but maybe that Falcon Arrow.
It was a hard-hitting Falcon Arrow. That shit was booming.
Yeah, maybe he saw Tweety Birds for a hot second, and then and that's why we got what we got. Like, I was listening to I think it was one of Eric Bischoff's podcasts a couple weeks ago because they were talking about the moment where Jade looked like she tapped. And what was it in that last pay-per-view? I think it was Clash or whatever. And he had an old referee who used to work for WWE and other companies, and it's like it's one of those moments where it's kind of like a catch-22. Like as a ref, like, and if you know the finish and you guys aren't changing the finish, like there's no improv, like there's no you're not switching up the fucking thing, then like it's one of those things. You kind of have to make a decision, and at that moment. The ref tonight, he just stopped the count. It looked weird. It was bad. To me, it doesn't ruin the match, but it was for like 3 minutes there. After when Drew comes out, there was a lot of confusion. Like I tweeted what twice. Like everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on? What? Now it's a triple threat." And then it's like, okay, exactly. Drew or Damian looks dead. My man should be the champion. What the fuck is going on?
I'm watching Punk. Okay, people, Punk come out and he's fucking strangling fucking Drew with the fucking cable cords and shit. I'm sitting here watching shit like, where the fuck Seth go? What happened to Seth? I'm like, there's so much going on right now, bro. And then Drew gets rolled back into the ring, and then Priest covers him 1, 2, 3. But like, it was a hell of a lot of confusion. Like after that miscount. It was like all hell broke loose. It's like the game broke for a little bit. And you're like, why is it glitching out? And then the fucking finish happened.
It was just fast paced. Like, yeah, because
it was hella fast paced with questions.
Yeah, and before all that, like Seth and Drew were fighting. They had some good shit. It looked like he was going to pin Seth. That didn't work out. Then Punk came out. He attacked him he hit him with the chair multiple times. Also, then he strangled with him cord. And then, he threw him back in the ring, and then he hit him with the title. After looking at the title, all lustful.
He did, yeah. He was.
And then we get a South of Heaven, so it looks like Damian's okay. I mean, he was able to finish the match, at least, or whatever. And, so Damian retains. Judgment Day didn't come out, which there was a little Judgment Day tease way before that, but we'll talk about that next show. Seth is upset. So, okay,
Very
so here's the... Yes.
Human.
So here's the reason why I'm okay with the way that it went. One, it wasn't exactly predictable. It wasn't exactly predicted as you joked. So it wasn't like super. It wasn't as like you still predicted it, but it wasn't the exact same prediction.
It wasn't as detailed. It wasn't a detailed prediction. I still understood. We still talked about
No, it wasn't as lazy.
Or Punk was going to interfere.
Yeah, no, like the way that they did it. The way that he did it wasn't lazy. And the way that because I tweeted like, oh, this is actually low key ingenious. The way that it's kind of ingenious is because so. Seth is out, and as long as Damian has this title, Seth is out of the title picture now, which is going to be for at least maybe 2
A
months or
month?
so. Like,
I mean, SummerSlam's next month. You think Drew's beating Gunther?
I don't. We'll see. I don't think so. If he doesn't beat him, or if he beats him at SummerSlam, I think Gunther wins
Oh
at.
my god.
I think he wins
Seth
at
can't
Berlin.
challenge for the title for 30 days. Oh my god, what are we gonna do?
He'll be in a little mini feud. It just gives him. It keeps a big piece out of play that makes sense. Like, it keeps him out of play to where it makes sense. Like, you don't have to make up some weird shit to where it's like, oh, I don't know. So he's out of play. It still furthers the Drew and Punk feud. It's even more heated, and then also it gets rid of the briefcase to where, like, okay, yes, some people will be like, it's a waste. We should have put it on someone who gets a title. But now we're not dealing with a storyline similar to what we had this whole last year, to where it's when are they going to cash in? When are they going to cash in? Similar to Damian Priest, and we still have the women's title, and it seems and Tiffany might play that role, and we don't need 2 storylines like that. So the case is already out of the picture. So we ain't got to worry about that shit literally until next Money in the Bank. It's good in the men's division. Seth has something to do for a while. It builds up the Drew and Punk feud, and now when Seth and Punk do finally feud, Seth has a legit reason to be upset, other than all the backstage interviews and all the other shit that obviously Seth doesn't like Punk. But now Seth has, as a character, has a legit reason to be upset with Punk, because he costed him a title opportunity. So when they do eventually feud, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that animosity. That's not just, backstage shit that we see on Twitter or whatever the fuck.
The thing, you are right. Because yes, it does open up, like, storylines to where we don't have to worry about who has the Money in the Bank title or Money in the Bank briefcase. But the thing is, you could have done all this without having the briefcase a part of this anyway. And the thing is, who's to say that we can't have, the briefcase on SmackDown? What's that mean for Cody and them? What this tells me is that they already have the writing on the wall with how they want these stories to go for the title.
Yeah.
And that's a little, like, not concerning, but just disheartening in a way. It's like, damn, like, y'all already have shit booked out so far that it doesn't matter what, LA Knight is doing or what, Jey Uso's doing right now, is that we already have this shit booked out for the next 8. And it just takes away a little bit of, like, the excitement, the mystique that, like, oh shit, we may not know what, Priest is doing. And the thing is, I think Triple H would have handled this, and the creative would have handled the briefcase differently than what we've seen with Priest. Because we know that the Bloodline story was a story that, like, Priest didn't fit in with anyway. They also had to create a whole fucking championship last year. So, like, it would have been a little bit different than what we are accustomed to.
And we're going to see.
With that being said, let's just play it like this, right? LA Knight didn't win because of, like, he's probably going to win the USA off of Logan in Cleveland. That's a logical standpoint.
Yes.
Andrade still hasn't got the push yet to where it doesn't make sense for him to have the briefcase. Melo just got there. Same reason as Andrade. Jay doesn't necessarily need it.
No.
Unless you were going to tie his story into Cody's somehow. But then again, you don't want to have another Uso challenge Cody for the World Heavy, like, or the WWE Championship. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Drew, of course, won it. And then we don't want to do that anyway. He just challenged Priest for the World Heavyweight, so that also didn't make sense. And then Chad will be the only dark horse to where, like, this could go either way. But I think that Chad's story is going to be tying into, like, the Y6 and shit like that. And we probably could have broke that down and figured out that Drew was going to win anyway. But it's just like, damn, bro, Drew couldn't have held it for a week. You could have done this shit next week. You had to do this shit tonight.
I mean, like, he said it. He said that's what he was going to do, though. That's the thing. He said
this is true. But it's also like, I think you had said it, like, maybe a couple pods like ago or somewhere, maybe on Twitter. But it was like, not letting the moment breathe, Like, we didn't get a chance to, like, let that shit just, like, okay, he got it. We're going to the next week. This was immediate. It's like, damn, all right, bro. Like, fuck. Now we got nothing to look forward to this fucking Monday. We have a lot to look forward to, by the way. But just saying, like, out of this, like, nothing for the men's side of it. Overall, chaotic ending for this match. It was entertaining. I'm going to start looking at shit. I told you I'm starting looking at it differently. It was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entertainment aspect of it. Just a little, like, not disappointed, but just like, damn, but still entertaining. with that being said, though, I think I tweeted, so that do we get a triple threat at SummerSlam? Do we get Punk, Seth, Drew, SummerSlam?
I'm gonna say no, only because they've been building this Drew and Punk thing for a long time, and they need to have the first time we can officially see them fucking lock up in the ring. It needs to be 1v1. Like, this is a blood feud. It's been.
So where do we put Seth on this?
He needs. Yeah, he just needs to find something to do, and then eventually, it's going to get to him and Punk. Like, I think that's why I think Gunther's going to win, and then Seth could work with Gunther for a little bit, but not win.
Ain't no way in hell you think your boy's about to sit here and let this nigga get off scot-free.
No, he's not. I think
2 months.
It's
nah, your boy's he's open up Monday.
Corey, I mean,
Philly Phil, get your ass out here.
He might, yeah, he might. I think he might. I think he will. But Corey Graves didn't let Seth go off. That's the second time. Like, they're saving it. And right now, Drew and Punk's it's one of the hottest feuds in all of wrestling right now. And they've been building this shit for literally. Yeah, pretty much damn near since January. So the first time they fight, it needs to be 1v1. You can eventually add Seth if you want, but it like, you're taking bracelets. He cost them 3-4 championship title. Like, it needs to be 1v1 first before you add.
And we got to come to a conclusion soon, because we can't keep doing this Punk interferes in like these PLEs. Like, he's been interfering quite a bit. This is the third time maybe.
Third time, I think.
Like, god damn, bro. At this point, it got to be a street fight, and I need y'all to fight, like, literally in the street. I don't want no rings. Y'all got to fucking fight in a bar. This has to be. We got to end this somehow. Fuck, bro.
I feel it. But yeah, no. I think they're gonna do Seth and Punk for the Mania. That's the Mania that we were supposed to get this year. So it's just a second storyline that like they finally like put it on the burner a little bit, but it's still
they opened it up. They showed you
it's still super on low.
This shit's still hot over here.
Yeah, like, we got to finish this up first. But now the official seeds have been planted, because other than the few promos that they had, and again, like, just like, Seth openly not liking him, and during interviews and stuff like this, like, now character wise in the actual show, we have a reason for the character to dislike this other character.
Yep. From here we got the women's Money in the Bank match, which is my match of the night. I don't know about yours, but I think this is my favorite match.
I think it deserves it. I think
these women went absolutely fucking insane. Like, to where the men's was like, slow, not slow, but like a little bit more methodical and like calculated. These women was wrestling like it was 2002, and they had a Hardy training them this entire time. There was so much destruction in this match. I loved it. I loved every fucking piece of this fucking match. Zoe was getting active.
Yeah, almost Z's up. Throw them Z's up, baby.
A little too active at some points, but like, she had a nice little backdrop on the ladder to Lyra, and then I think immediately after the backdrop, she fucking bashes her fucking head in on the fucking ladder. Like,
yeah, she does. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the match overall, the match was amazing. Easily the match of the night. It started off a little sloppy. There was a couple things, and there was
Chelsea spots.
Yeah, there was a moment where the crowd was like just quiet. It felt like for 2 minutes, the crowd was just quiet, like, to where even the announcer said something. And then when Naomi and Tiffany started getting active, then the crowd got back into it, and then like shit just started, like, it just started going from phase to phase to phase. Like, it just didn't stop. The first like 5 minutes or so was just like, okay, what's going on here a little bit, but. Io, Tiffany, and Naomi, all the women were working. This is credit to all the women, but the three I just named, they were super working. Like, they really got the crowd into it. They had some cool, like, all of them had cool spots. Like, I literally just wrote, so we get a cool swanton from Tiffany. There's a moment where Zoe kills Lyra. Then there's a moment where we have the Naomi split moment. That was fucking amazing. Again, just fucking pure athlete. And then a little bit after that, Io kills the shit out of Zoe with whatever fucking move she did. Like, which I know Io's tailbone is hurting But and
hurting,
the
bro.
way Zoe sold that shit too was just amazing. Like Zoe's great. Throw them Z's up. I'm Starkhouse. I'm a fan. But then yeah, after that, Tiffany and this. I mean, this. Is there anything else you want to say? Because after that, the next big spot is when Tiffany kills Chelsea. But like there was there was like 3 deaths, like right, like back to back to back, where it's
back
like
to back to back.
it's like
Lyra
right,
has a mean German to Io off the ladder, like off of like
oh
pure
man,
core strength.
yeah.
Like these women were going fucking nuts, bro.
And there was a moment where Io stomps the hell out of Lyra's face multiple times while they're on the ladder. And it's like, you're not in Josie right now. You about to kill her. Like, you about to knock her out.
Like, goddamn, Io, chill. Io was showing out. She was going nuts. She was the daredevil in the match. Like, she's the one who's like orchestrating like the crazy ass spots. Yeah, she's fucking amazing. But yeah, like you said, Tiffany gets up to, or no, Chelsea's in the middle of the ring. She ends up climbing the ladder. Huge pop, by the way. She was getting mad pops in Toronto.
Yes, she was.
I believe she's from Toronto.
She's from Canada, to my knowledge.
Or maybe maybe she's from Canada. I think they said it earlier. She's from like West Canada. But she was getting mad fucking pops in that arena.
Oh,
and
shit.
For a minute there, I thought she was definitely going to
win. Can I say something real quick? I meant to say this.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. We have to rewind for a second because you just talking about Canada. It just reminded me. The way John Cena was glazing up Canada like that, I'm not okay with it. The Olympics is in like a week and a half, bro. You need to calm down. Like he was glazing them up viciously. I'm like, bruh. He's like, what are we doing here? I thought it was time to go to work.
Hey, no, dead ass though. He gave the retirement statement to the Canadian crowd. That's crazy. He's like 20 years in the wrestling business. They get the retirement like speech. That's fucking nuts.
And then has the nerve to say, "I'm a film. We're still about to film Peacemaker 2, bro. You better tap into the character, bro. This is America, bro. What's going on, bro?" But I decided to get that joke out of the way because now that he was like seriously like glazing them like wildly. He was like, "I want to talk about Canada. No, I want to talk about the Canadian people. Like, goddamn, like I thought he was about to campaign for prime minister or some shit next." It's like, okay, where's this going? All right, but anyway, back to the women. Tiffany wins. Wins. Hopefully, we get a pink briefcase.
No. You got to tell how she fucking does it. Like,
yes,
Chelsea's climbing the ladder. Chelsea's about to win. Looked like she's about to win this shit. There were some tables set up by Chelsea and Tiffany. Now that I think about it,
in the match, yep.
And they're up there. Chelsea looked like she's about to go for the title. That does not happen. Tiffany pushes the ladder off to the side. Chelsea Green takes one of the meanest fucking bumps of the night, just through 2 fucking ladders, and pretty smoothly, by the way.
Yep.
That sets up.
Look good.
She did in mid-air too, which is not easy to do.
Off of a 15-foot, 20-foot ladder. Yeah, Tiffany wins.
That's what I'm saying. I was thinking about the light. Yeah, she fucking went pretty far off that fucking ladder.
And apparently she did a similar spot in TNA with Jordan.
They posted. It got spoiled. I saw I'm on Twitter doing the Twitter shit, and like I saw Jordan Grace tweeted like, "Oh, shout out to Chelsea doing the spot such and such years ago," and it was the exact same fucking spot. And I was like, "There's no way this is gonna happen." And sure as shit, it fucking happened.
Yeah, this time was 2 tables.
No, that one was 2 tables too.
Oh, was it? I thought it so. Okay, but you know, it looked nicer. Better production.
It did. Production looked way better. But Tiffany gets it. I think I called this one out earlier in like one of the podcast episodes that Tiffany Stratton was the one to win Money in the Bank. Do I think that she needed to win it? No. Back then, yes. Now, no, because like she was already like established. I feel like she's already about to like pop off in this bitch. But I do understand the storyline elements of like Nia has a shot coming up. She's been working these storylines with Nia. So now you got Tiffany with the briefcase. Nia potentially, maybe, possibly beating Bayley. I don't know yet. We don't know yet. But there is definitely some story angles that you could play off there for sure. Yeah. And who's to say that, we won't see Tiffany on fucking Raw and she might take out, Liv or whatever future challenger. We don't fucking know. That's the thing about the briefcase. It can pop off anywhere at any time.
Yep. Facts. But yeah, it was a good shit. Good match.
It was a good match. Main event. We now have Cody, Randy, KO versus the bloodline of Tama, Solo, Jacob. It's the debut of Jacob Fatu on a PLE for WWE.
Ow, ow, ow. Werewolf, baby.
Yeah,
Wolves out here.
Simone Werewolf out there fucking causing chaos. I thought the match starts off a little slow because they're playing like the whole like chicken game where Solo's not wrestling certain individuals. He's tagging in Tama, or is it Tama or is it Tonga? I think it's Tama.
No, yeah, it's Tama Tonga, and then Tonga Loa.
Tonga, yeah. He's playing like the chicken game. Also before this, like SmackDown, he dropped one of the coldest like promos where like he's talking about Roman and like, you know, come get it. Like, I'm the new tribal chief. Like, you couldn't get it done versus Cody. You want an issue with it? Come see me about it.
Yep. And the previous week they killed Paul Heyman.
They did kill Paul. Yeah. So no Paul, and you calling out tribal chief. I for sure thought we were about to get a Roman appearance tonight, but
I think it's going to be SummerSlam.
Most definitely. How'd you feel about the match?
Match was fine. Shout out to Kevin Owens on Friday night. He mentioned that his mom is in the hospital. She's fighting something like hell. He didn't say what, but it doesn't matter.
He doesn't need to.
It doesn't matter. But he's like, I'm going to show up because that's what you would want me to do. Very similar to, I'm sure it's similar to what Jay said about, not because Sika's funeral was today or yesterday. I think it was today or yesterday. And so all of them, so all of them missed it because they were all in Toronto. It's very similar. When you're in the wrestling business, or they usually want you to do the show. So anyway,
right.
But yeah, he got some crazy pops because obviously he's from Canada. The match was good. It was fine. It did what it needed to do. For me, the match was a little underwhelming overall. I think the Seth Damian probably should have main evented, especially with all the chaos that happened. I assume we were going to get another. Well, I didn't want to assume, but like the way that it was hyped up, and since this was the main event, I thought something bigger would happen.
That's what my expectation was, that something was going to pop off here, especially when before it's like, the hint of like surprises. And then even like pre-show, like E had ran off because of like, he said he has something he needs to do. And I was like, okay, well, they're planning something. And nothing really like panned out too surprising. Actually, I don't think anything was like surprising to me in this PLE.
No, just the retirement. If that, because we're tapped in, so we assumed Punk was going to show up. If Drew won, we were assuming Punk was going to show up. There wasn't really any surprises or anything. But the match did what it needed to do. Everyone got their shit off. We got an RKO spree. We get a table spot that was good. Fatu looked great. You get a ref bump, and that's when the shenanigans start happening. That's when shit really ramps up.
Yeah, for all promotion people, when you see a ref get hit, some shit's about to pop off.
Let alone get hit twice because he took 2 bumps. Like
he did.
I'm surprised they didn't send out another ref because kayfabe wise, that ref should be dead at that point. Like 2 bumps, that's wild.
This nigga, how you watch a low blow?
Okay, so that shit was weird. I did see one clip that someone found when he took I forgot who did it, but there was a spot that he took way before. There was a spot that he took before that, and it looks like he hit his head hard on the announcer table.
He did hit his hard as fuck.
So there's a chance that he was also seeing Tweety Birds too. And I feel like we should try to give him the benefit of the doubt for fucking up an easy move, maybe because he was concussed. Hopefully, let's just say hopefully. Let's let it play out before. Let's see what happens next week or whatever he did.
What the hell he doing? This man over here cupping ass, nigga. Hey, what the fuck?
No, bro, that's the secret.
Get the shit off, nigga.
That's the secret taint punch. Or what was that thing that Naruto did?
Oh fuck, bro. Oh god.
Yeah.
He was a mishap on the fucking low blow, but he gets it off. He low blows Kevin Owens, and then like from there, like that's when we see the bloodline really coming to full force here. Yeah. Shout out to Jacob out too, because he's actually an enforcer. That man is protecting everything from happening. Yeah. there was the Cerberus powerbomb that was supposed to happen to Solo on the table on the outside, and Jacob Fatusi starts super kicking everybody. Like, y'all not about to do this to my dude. So shout out to him for being like a true enforcer and making sure nothing happens to the prize.
Yeah, and he tanks a lot of damage, but there was moments where there was moments where obviously he was taken out, but he does tank a lot of damage. But it's not like, you know, Undertaker, Kane, or Fiend type level, but he's still still very tankish. But yeah, no, good shit, man. I don't know. I don't really.
Man did a whisper in the wind. I ain't seen a whisper in the wind in a minute. Like, he just did that shit smoothly. Just run up the turnbuckle, just bop, flip, done. Yeah. Like, dude's a star. Yeah. Like, once he gets polished up in the WWE ways, man, merch is about to fly off the fucking shelves, bro. Like, it's a wrap.
I mean, if he's again like even a quarter as good as what the internet has been hyping him up for the last few years, then yeah, he's on his way. Because I mean, yeah, he slimmed down, he looks good, he's with good company. So I mean, it's the ball's in your court. It's only up to him to fuck it up. Unless
I can't wait for like that tag match, like Usos versus like Jacob and like somebody, but it's gonna be a great fucking like tag match. Like, they're gonna go fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised Jimmy didn't show up. I thought at least Jimmy was gonna show up because I was like, okay, because they made jokes and references to Jay and Jacob both being able to come to Canada.
Yeah, how did you get here? Yeah,
because they have a criminal past, and so I was like, oh, if they got them two, then Jimmy should definitely be allowed.
If you got no funny shit, like if you got Jacob to come in off of like, you know, the armed robbery, like, fuck yeah, you can get anybody in here at this point. That's how I definitely thought Jimmy was going to be there. That's where I thought the surprise was going to come from Jimmy, but at the same time, a 3v1 wasn't really going to do it in Jimmy's way. No. And at that point, you would kind of like have to do like Jimmy pop up, but Jimmy not alone, and he would like Heyman, and then you get Roman. But that sounds like a bigger pop for like SummerSlam than anything.
Yeah, and also it makes sense for the ending because Solo's the one that pins Cody, which we knew they were going to fight at SummerSlam, and you know, it essentially, if this was an eliminator match, he would get the title shot. So I kind of look at it like that. He pinned the champion, so yeah, now it's official.
He gets a shot at SummerSlam.
Exactly. So, and obviously the feud is still lit, and more pieces are going to be involved soon. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. It was a clean win for Solo. He needed this one to like solidify like we're a threat. We just pinned Cody. We took out, you know, the champ and his team. Like, he needed this for his storyline. Yeah, I'm locked in. I want to see what they got what they have cooking up next, because this next 4 weeks is about to be mad important, especially because it's SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's the second biggest pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, in hindsight, yeah, I would have had the Seth Priest main event.
Main event,
especially because Cody wasn't in a title match, so it still gives prestige to that title, and that match was more exciting, and more shit happened. But overall, I think the pay-per-view is fine. I've seen a lot of this is duds or underwhelming feedback or stuff on Twitter. I mean, I think it's fine. It did what it had to do. 5 matches.
Out of 5, what do you give it?
Out of 5, that's just a 3. I guess just a solid 3. I mean, if we're doing letter grade, I would say B-. It wasn't. I
give it 3. I'm right there with you. Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, the ladder matches were good. Based on how they were presenting it, yes, I expected a little more excitement, but it was still, I don't know, it was still a good ass show. I don't I don't know. And it's not one of their. It's like their secret 5th big show, but it's still the big 4. So again, like we're not going to see the most craziest of all shits. It's not one of their big shows. They got SummerSlam.
I just think that expectations were high. I think that like because it's Money in the Bank, you know that like this is where the general excitement comes from. Whoever wins Money in the Bank. Also, it's like Triple H's first Money in the Bank, so we expected like something crazy to happen here as well. Personally, like I said, 3 out of 5, I'm cool with it. What I would have done is, yes, put the Seth match last, but also I would have took the Zelina Liv match and put that on the card. I just had an issue with having no women's titles on them, like on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, especially when Money in the Bank happens, just so you can have some kind of like foreshadowing in some aspect. Plus, Liv and Zelina had a good fucking match. So
they did.
I think they could have definitely done that on, Money in the Bank. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a good pay-per-view. We got a lot of storylines to see. We got a lot of stuff to check out for this week. You want to get into Forbidden Door?
Yeah, let's get into Forbidden Door.
Let's get into it. First things first, 14 matches is it's long.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, bro.
It's ridiculous.
And I never really had to go back and watch pre-show just to make sure I got everything and I watched everything. But yeah, way too fucking long. So off rip, pre-show you get Kyle Fletcher versus Pinnacle. I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Dope fucking pile driver and brain buster in this match. My takeaway from this is that Kyle is definitely one of the features for AEW. I think that I've always said that. I think the kid has a lot to fucking grow with, especially also considering some stuff that happened on this week's Dynamite with him and Don Callis. Will stepping away from Don Callis. There's just shit that Kyle has going for him that is about to open up pretty soon. Gabe Kidd is must-see TV. The dude is fucking talented. I've never seen him before. I've heard him talk. I heard interviews. But I've never seen him wrestle, and dude is really fucking solid. Brody King was just a fucking monster in this fucking I think it was like a 4-way tag match. Ishii hits a fucking brutal brain buster on Brody. We then get Willow. I forgot her partner, versus Stad and Momo. Oh, Tam Nakano.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good fucking match as well. It's just one of these matches where you could also put this on a Dynamite or a Rampage or a Collision and just gave them that kind of time, because it was one of those that kind of deserved it. But I get it because it is Forbidden Door. You kind of want to have this talent on the show. We have Mariah May versus Saraya. This was just pretty cut and dry here. I don't know where the storyline is going with Saraya. I knew where it was going for Mariah. We've already talked about where this is going to end up, to where it's probably going to be Mariah May versus Toni Storm at All In. So just judging off what we already know, that kind of fucking happened. There was also a Lucha Bros match, and I did not get to this one. I saw this one at the tail end. I didn't want to put it on my notes because I didn't finish it all the way. But there's definitely a Lucha Bros match in here, and I got to check them out as well. Or no, it was... No, yeah, I definitely didn't put that down here. Anywho, show opens up with the Elite versus the Acclaim and Tanahashi.
I thought it was MJF.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
MJF.
No, you are right. It's Hedgestra versus MJF. The reason why I skipped that is because this match had no aura. This match, there wasn't. That's exactly what happened. I took 2 notes on this match, and MJF just did not look excited or enthused to be here wrestling Hechicero, and Hechicero's a great fucking talent, but there was no aura. It was a good match, but it was just
you weren't a fan of him paying homage to 30 wrestlers in 30 seconds. You weren't a fan of that? To be fair to MJF, I mean,
elaborate.
I'm not in no disrespect, because he did the Ric Flair thing, he did the Macho Man.
He did the Ric Flair, yeah.
And no disrespect to Hechicero, but if I'm pronouncing that right, but this match, I mean, if MJF didn't look enthused, I'm not surprised. Why is this his first pay-per-view match as a return? He fought Rush, so it's not his first match back, but it's it's his first pay-per-view match. I know it's Forbidden Door. I understand the theme of it, but I don't know. Maybe they could have gave him a bigger name or something. I don't know, or just not something. Have him. I don't know.
Have him on the card. I'd have been cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't need.
I think if you had the Roosh match,
back,
you could have left it off of that.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I mean, he didn't look the most enthused, but I'm not trying to speak for the man or anything. But if I was to read body language, he was having fun, but it's just one of those moments. It's I'm here to get paid and wrestle a scrub or whatever, and I'll see. I'm
going home.
Yeah, that's
this
probably
man
why
pulled the Brock. I guarantee he was back home.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably why he started the show. He's like, all right, let me wrestle this guy, and I'm going back home because it was in his hometown. So, shit, he probably, I don't know what
Yeah,
their
let me just
fucking,
get the fuck out of here.
yeah, he probably caught the fucking A train or some shit. He's like, fuck this shit. Like, but knowing him, no, he has a chauffeur. But
Probably,
yeah,
most likely. It looks like the Brain Buster is his finisher. I don't know if that was his finisher before, but he's definitely been doing the Brain Buster a lot.
no, it was the Salt of the Earth, Fujiwara armbar. That
I gotta look at that.
it used to be the Salt of the Earth,
but you might be right. I know you're right. Anywho, now next match number 2 was Elite versus the Acclaimed and Tanahashi. I also could have did without this match as well. I'm not saying that it didn't have a fit, but just the Acclaimed right now. More particular, Max Caster is just I got to put him on like the go away card for a little bit. Bowens on the other hand is great. Bowens might be the best wrestler in the Acclaimed. Like that dude is fucking good.
I mean, there's only 2 niggas, so either he is or he's not. I think he is.
I would agree.
And
I think Bowens is definitely better.
He has a look. He's good on the mic too. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, man, the Elite, bro. Yeah. Some of y'all are entertained with this. Some of y'all are really entertained with this, and I don't know why, but I'm not trying to yuck any yums here.
It looks like they're doing the Team Elite versus Team AEW 2 at Blood and Guts.
Right.
And from the looks of it, I would assume that you're going to get your 4 of the Elite versus Team AEW, which I think this week's Dynamite, they announced that Mark Briscoe is going to be one of the Team AEW.
Which makes sense. He honestly should be pushed more.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah. Anyway, but
he just got to get rid of the ROH title. I need him to get rid of his title so he can be pushed. Like, I can't have you be champion and not, be on ROH and like defending your championship and shit like that.
Yeah, he has this to me, he has the same to me he has the same appeal as Eddie Kingston. Like him and his brother were one of the greatest tag teams. He's really good on the mic. He's really passionate when he does promos. People seem to love his promos. He obviously he's still wrestling. Push him as a single star because the fans gravitate towards him. So again, like why are you putting all these people, like not all these people, but you put a lot of people who fans gravitate towards on ROH, and then when you do put them on Dynamite, they're fucking losing into some randos. It's frustrating, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be the. It looks like it's going to be the Acclaimed in him, and then shit. I don't know. Probably.
It has to be Swerve. Like you have to do if you do Team AEW without the fucking AEW champion, I'm going to feel the type of way.
I mean,
first time it's like okay.
Yeah, you mean
the second time he said, "You better not leave me off."
Word. So yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I feel like they got to start
overall
just having them interact or something. But then again, it's like, do we want to see Max Caster and Swerve interact? 2 niggas who can't rap? Is that what we really want that? I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Oh my god, man! Goodness fucking gracious. Takeaways from this match. I would love to see more Tanahashi matches. I think I was impressed, but I also think that you had to wrestle within your time limit. So I definitely see him in his element. Okada hits Tanahashi with the Rainmaker to secure the win. That's also just a callback. Also I'm looking at it from a sense of there's no hard feelings. Tanahashi is, one of the huge people over in New Japan.
The current owner or CEO or some shit.
I think something like that. He might be like the owner of New Japan or something like that. And him to take the pin from Okada just shows bro, there's no beef here from what it looks like. What I didn't like is that at the end of this match, as they're about to, looks like the Elite is taking over. They're jumping people in the ring and whatnot. And then out of nowhere, Billy Gunn shows up and the Elite run away from Billy Gunn. And I'm like, Billy Gunn 65. If y'all don't jump his old ass and get him out of here, pack him the fuck
after what he did to Jay White a couple months ago,
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Mr. Assman is him over there.
Fuck.
65 ain't nothing. He be beating the shit out of motherfuckers over there.
He was, man, just not putting nobody over.
Technically bigger than all of them.
And to be fair, he is. Second match was my favorite match of the night. It was Bryan Danielson versus Shingo. I thought this was a really fucking good match. Shingo's gear is fucking fire. Early in the match, it looks like Daniel is just like in control, he's in the driver's seat, and then Shingo just come out of nowhere with like corkscrew drivers, like just killing fucking Daniel. And Daniel's also doing the thing where he's doing like the whole boy who cried wolf thing with his neck, and it's actually been going on for like the whole week, maybe like 2 weeks now. Bro, whatever match Daniel gets,
it's been going on.
Leaning into the fucking neck injury.
It's been going on his whole AEW stint, and I want to say he did it a few times in WWE too, but no, like this is not his first time where it's like. There was the time he faked a seizure or some shit. This is not his first time. Like, oh, I got a stinger or some other shit. The Ospreay match. Nah. Like, he does it a lot, and I don't get it. I don't like it. I think it's not only is it overdone, but it's. I don't want to say it's offensive. I don't want to go that far, but it's. I don't know. It's just weird to do to keep faking like medical shit when we know for a fact
to use it into like an angle.
Consistently, and it's consistently, and it's like using it in an angle, but there's no thread to it, to where like there's no storyline, to where it's like when Seth was like had the back problems, like the last, like he had 2 feuds where people were working on his back because it was playing through it was playing for months. With Daniel, it's like every 6 matches he'll have a seizure, or he'll have a fucking fake concussion or some shit or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. It's just it's weird. I don't like it. I want him to stop doing it.
Yeah, it seems like that's also his theme with the Owen Hart Cup. He did it in this match. He wrestled Pac earlier this week, and he was doing it then. And next week looks like because spoiler alert, Hangman comes back against Jay White or against Jeff Jarrett. And then he wins tonight against Jay White. Looks like next week is going to be Daniel versus Hangman. And it's like, if we're doing this neck angle and you're not fully healthy, and this man Hangman's been on these 2 matches been on a fucking like binger, no pun intended. At this point, Hangman should win. Like, he's not going to play any games. He's not going to like feel bad about your neck. This is the dude who's supposed to take you out, and I would wholeheartedly think he should take him out, just based off the way his momentum is right now, and if you're playing off the neck injury shit.
Yeah, either Hangman wins, or Daniel finds a way to beat him to further involve Hangman's new edge or / character. But I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, whoever wins that match, I think is winning the tournament. That's my take on it. I do want to ask.
I think that is the finals.
Oh, that is? Okay, then. Well, duh. All right.
Yeah.
If that's the finals, then that's a stupid thing I just said. But I do have a question. Why did Hangman come back sounding like Batman's Christian Bale? Or Christian Bale's Batman?
I don't know. From what I took away from his vignette that he had, is that this man lost his family. He's drinking again. Like, you just got like the worst version of Hangman. The original version of Hangman, where it's like he just don't give a fuck about nothing. And so I guess this is the deep, dark depression. I hate my friends. Like, they left me when everything else left me. Fuck y'all. He also like came out against his match in Jeff Jarrett, and like the crowd was yelling Swerve's house. He was looking at them like, you motherfuckers, what? Whose house? Like, nah. So you might also be right. I think you called it out a while ago too, that it might be Swerve Hangman 3 at All In. Which I'm fine with. I think I would prefer that over.
And then we get
Swerve versus Daniel.
Yeah, I
personally.
mean,
And that sounds crazy because I love Daniel, but like I think Swerve Hangman 3 is a bigger like match.
Story-wise, yes, because there's actually a story to it.
Yes, because exactly.
But it's like, do you want to see them like? It's what we talked about months ago. It's like,
How do you
go above that? Like after drinking blood and shit, like. Yeah, at this point, I mean, in a couple of the other months, we saw someone get set on fire / hit by a bus. I don't know. Someone got to do something wild Because fucking also Swerve choked him. He hung him. He literally like hung him with a
It's
chain.
true.
Like yeah,
But
y'all need to fight on a moving train.
at this point,
Yes.
you could also do the story with Swerve to where like it's Swerve with Daniels, where if Swerve beats Daniel at All In, the story lines up for them to do Wrestle Dream in fucking October or some shit like that. So you probably have Daniel win it in his fucking like state, his home state. He could also like win it, and that's where he really plays into like the injury. Like he just drops it the next like Wednesday or whatever. Yeah, I could see that happening too. That's another thread that you could possibly play with. But yeah, anywho, Shingo versus Bryan was a good fucking match. He wins the match by making him tap, but it was a verbal tap. It wasn't like a hand tap. He just said I quit, which I don't think I've ever seen before, where somebody just says I quit. Like there was no motion of the hands or nothing like that. So when he said I quit, the camera wasn't even towards his face. He just let go, and I was like, well, okay, the match is over. And then like the announcer said that, oh, it was a verbal tap and Shingo quit and whatnot. So I guess it makes it look like Shingo still looks strong or whatever. But I
he
felt kind of
quit.
Weird.
The fuck?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I just never seen it like that.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely allowed. It doesn't happen often because I mean I don't know if Jericho still does it, but like one of his shticks or gimmicks used to be when he had someone in like a submission, he'd be like ask him, like so like you could verbally quit, but yeah, I mean it definitely doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look like a bitch. You just quit. You gave up. You threw your towel in.
Yeah, definitely. That's for sure.
That's why I quit matches are supposed to be slightly humiliating because it's like I got to do whatever it takes to make another man or another human being say I quit. I can't take no more.
Yeah. You're right. Still a really fucking good match. I think we talked about it off air, but they are preparing to do Wrestle Dream in January.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be AEW talent, CMLL talent, Ring of Honor talent, New Japan and Stardom. So that's gonna be a very big fucking event in January. So they probably will run something back in January. I wouldn't be like surprised I don't. Next match is Mina versus Toni Storm. Starlet match. Mariah's already down there because this is supposed to be the match where she chooses like either one or the other. The story for this is not necessarily what happened in the ring, although it was a good match. I think just post match where it wraps up to where she doesn't choose and all three of them walk away happily ever after.
Yeah,
I did not see this coming.
Going to a throuple.
That was.
I mean, I saw it coming, but it could have been done better because literally the couple days before that, Mariah gets hit in the head with a fucking champagne bottle.
Bottle.
Like, why are you so?
What was this for?
So forgiving. Like, it's like you're just so forgiving. You just got hit in the head with a bottle, no Trina. Like, and you're just so forgiving. It just doesn't make any sense. But whatever. They're in a throuple. Team Les, let's get it. Shake them things.
Yeah, and from here it looks like Mariah, like I said, she's being set up to win the tournament. So the story will probably either expand or evolve into something else. Probably at All In. Yeah, I don't know what else to expect from this. I haven't really seen any signs of like Tony like turning or Mariah turning, so I don't know where the play or the angle or the heel elements will come from, but I would assume that in the next 4 weeks we should be getting something. Shit, to be honest, we get Blood and Guts like in 2 weeks, I think, or something like that. Yeah, it's not a pay-per-view, it's just a Dynamite.
Hopefully it's severe. It makes sense because I don't know what's.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like you got hit in the head with a bottle. So what is Tony going to do that's going to offend you so much to where you might betray Tony? It just got to make sense. Is all. But they got time.
Yeah. Next match was OC, Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. Now, I will say on paper, I was not looking forward to this one the most, just because I'm not too familiar with Zack, and Orange Cassidy just doesn't have some of my favorite matches, although I respect everything that Orange Cassidy does. This one actually was a pretty good fucking match. It was a damn good match. Once again, Zack Sabre was a technician. It makes sense why Daniel or Bryan was like wanted to go against him, and he lost against him because this man is limb for limb, like knows how to play the game. It's like, it's not even like just like arms, it's like joints and shit. So he's going for like kneecaps and elbow sockets and shit like that. Like the dude is fucking solid.
Yeah, but he also looks like Slender Man. I don't know. And the title he has is ugly as fuck. And your name is Saber. Where's your sword at? I can go on about this.
You could. And none of that has anything to do with this man's wrestling ability. Nothing at all.
I'm just hating.
It's just all visual. Fuck. The dude is good. He ended this match with like one of the craziest fucking submissions I've ever fucking seen. Actually, I don't think I've seen anything like it. It was like a tie-up of sorts where he got like your arms tied up and then he like somehow gets your legs tied up. It was like some weird fucking cartoon animation pretzel shit.
Yeah.
And Orange Cassidy had no clue but to just tap or just say I quit. He couldn't do anything. The man had everything like locked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this dude's he's different.
Yeah, he's a freak.
He's very different.
Wrap it around your body like a snake ma. I can't, you know who he listens to. I don't know where I'm going with this. But good for Zack. So someone from New Japan won tonight. Because I think he
that was also the thing too.
I think he's the only one.
I don't know if
no. Him and no, he's not.
No. You're right.
NATO.
But he was one. NATO gets.
We'll get to it.
But yeah, he gets a win here. He definitely was one of the few New Japan talents who get a win. So I kind of also think that like if they do Wrestle Dream, a lot of these AEW talents should lose, like for sure.
I mean, we'll see. Tony has more. Tony has he has more money, more stars, and that's
you're gonna need this partnership. Somebody gonna have to like take L.
Yeah, I'll mention it when we're done. But all right, yeah. I don't know. I don't think Forbidden Door should continue the way that it's doing. But I'll say what I mean when we're done.
Okay.
But before we get to the next match, because I mean, because Jericho's in that match, the learning tree, and sometimes trees make you itchy, and sometimes the heat makes you itchy. And when you're itchy, like because of the heat and it's hot, I got something for you. It's a Japanese cream. It's called Itchy Dick. That's right, Itchy Dick. For that pubic area, that pubic scratch, and your pubic scratch just met its match. If you type in code WAV, promo code WAV, you get this all natural cream, Itchy Dick. Quit the bitching and stop the itching. It's similar to cortisone, but it's all natural. It has aloe, lavender. Again, code WAV, you'll save 30%. Itchy Dick. That's right, Itchy Dick.
Oh my god, this man is fucking dumb. That's funny because all I'm sitting here thinking about is this man said Itchy Dick, and the tagline in my head is like, it's itchy. Like that's how I heard it.
Yeah, it's spelled itchy, ITCHYDIK. So it's not but it works on all genders. It's not just for men, but it's called Itchy Dick. WAV.
Itchy clam.
I don't know. I don't think that one went well with us.
Oh fuck, that's funny. This match is okay. Jericho's still getting please retire chance. We know what the deal is here. Hook was taking some major bumps in this fucking match.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb hits Joe with his sit your ass down, and I don't think I ever seen anybody hit Joe with his own goddamn move. But Jeff Cobb is also one big motherfucker, so if there's anybody who could do it, it would be Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
To wrap this one up, Hook pulls out a Judas effect, and that's how he gets the win on Jericho. It does tie in later into this week's Dynamite, because Jericho's like, oh, he had to use his own move to beat me kind of thing. But we just pick it up. Story got to pick up. And also, this is one of the matches where we didn't need this on Forbidden Door. We could have sat this one out.
Yeah, no, it didn't need to be on Forbidden Door. When Homie declined Jericho's offer, it was confusing because we thought he was going to join. Like, we were like, "Is there going to be two matches or whatever?" Also, it's cool that It's cool. Jericho gave Hook his pin. He gave him a pin, awesome. But you still have the title. Like this was a 6-man tag. So it's like, yes, you gave him the learning tree rub. You gave him a pin, but yeah, you still have his father's title, which just means, yeah, it seems like this fucking feud. We're calling the Vortex. As the internet love to say, now he likes to use because he's just online. And
Better watch out. He might listen. He might use it.
Yeah, he might.
If you watch Dynamite this week and he's talking about, yeah, I heard this tree's itchy.
Well, he started calling Big Bill of Redwood, so yeah, I think he might be listening. Where were you on Jan 6, Jericho? You tell me that, since you're listening.
Fucking hell, man. Next match is the TNT ladder match. This was a good fucking match. And Konosuke is deserving of all the fucking praise.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, because in this match, he's just going off. Like, there is suicide dives from Mark Briscoe. Konosuke is just going fucking crazy in this.
Yeah, fucking alpha,
actually,
baby.
I take the Mark Briscoe's also doing some crazy shit, but that's kind of also in his bag.
Yeah, but one of the things he did was stupid as fuck. If we could talk about it for a hot second,
Go ahead. I think I know what it is.
It was a jump he did. It was very similar to what Edge did, and it's like, what are you like? I don't know how old he is. He doesn't look young. I know he's been in the game for like 20, 30 years. It's like, we just saw what happened to Edge 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why he did that. It didn't look good, and it was risky as fuck.
Same thing with today in Gable, when Gable was hanging off the goddamn ladder and he just dead drops, like, or hanging off the fucking briefcase. They moved the ladder. This man just crash lands into the fucking ring. We ain't got to do that,
but
people.
there's a safer way. Like, he's landing flat though. Homie jumped. He landed stand. He did the table. It was the same table spot that Edge did. Essentially, just wasn't off the cage.
Feet first.
Yeah, and it's like, you could have busted your fuck. You could have did the same. It was the exact same shit as Edge. It was the exact same shit. That's why I'm giving criticism to it, because it's like, we just saw what happened, and you did the exact same thing. Just do a belly to belly, or not like a belly flop or some shit. Like, just like land on them.
People's knees and ankles. Yeah. I don't care how much padding you got. That shit is not. It's not helping.
No, and you're a veteran wrestler, so your body is torn. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know how old he is. He doesn't look young. And you've been wrestling for a long time, especially doing crazy shit, backyard wrestling, all this shit. Like, you got to protect your body. So please, just he did
orchestrate a lot of spots, and he was doing a lot of reckless shit, and that was exciting, but also like probably semi fucking dangerous.
The only problem I have is
doing this shit for 20 plus years.
Yeah, no, the only problem I have with any of the spots was just that one that was exactly like Edge's.
The land.
Yeah, everything else fine. I don't give a fuck, but I don't want to see people blow up their goddamn patellas and ACLs and MCLs. I don't want to see that shit on TV. It's I don't like it. It's gross. It's scary. Just don't do it. We literally just saw it. Same company. A nigga who is, I think, older than you, or maybe the same age. Shit, maybe.
Nah, maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe some in the water with them older niggas, bro. Maybe they just like that. They just like, that's how they get down. I don't know. But back to like this ladder match. Yeah, Briscoe does a dive onto Jack. Suicide dive off the chairs. Konosuke gives a mad stiff powerbomb to Dante and Leo Rush. Shout out to Leo Rush for being in this too. That man was moving. That's probably one of like the most like agile motherfuckers in the ring. Like, that man reversals is like fucking level 100, bro. The dude's fucking crazy.
The Moth, baby.
Then we get the cleanest fucking move of the fucking night was the fucking Blue Thunder powerbomb from Konosuke to ELP on the tables on the outside, and man, the fucking table just fucking exploded. Like, it was effortless. The execution was flawless, and the table just fucking blew up, and it was fucking dope. It was fucking hella fucking clean.
Yeah, I love when they explode like that.
Yeah, it was. You couldn't have executed that any like better. There's a moment where like Konosuke is going for the title, and the crowd wants him to get it. Like, everybody's popping, bro. Like, he's climbing the ladder, and like you can hear the whole fucking arena like blow the fuck up. Also, shout out to them. That arena was fucking packed out. Like they had that bitch booming. But with that being said, I think the writing's on the wall to where like people want to see Konosuke with a belt. And I know why he couldn't have won it tonight or that night is because he's doing G1. And so he'll be in G1 Climax. I know that G1 lasts for a minute. It's like,
it's forever.
I don't know if it's like a month. Like it's a long fucking tournament.
Yeah. But that's not an excuse for him not winning. Like Kingston won shit. Like Moxley won shit. Like
that's true.
I don't think he needs a belt.
But this one's like
I just want him to be used better because he's one of I want to say he's my favorite there, and he's fucking amazing. That's why
he is.
Yeah, like if we should do another trade draft at some point. I don't remember if he was on my last one, but send in the NXT. I love the Alpha's fire. He's fire, but I don't want to like just because we like people, and this is not me talking to you. This is me talking to the internet. Doesn't mean they instantly need to have a belt. We should focus on story and building, making them get popular. Like a belt, a belt doesn't put you on the same level as like what Jay has right now. Jay's over as fuck. A belt doesn't instantly make you over.
Right.
You should if you really like a character, you want them to be over as fuck. Yes, they still deserve to have a title and shit. Of course, you want your favorite to have a title. Everyone wants their favorite to have a title, but focus on let's get these motherfuckers over. And being utilized.
You know what I would want is that him to take over the Callis film by like kicking out Don Callis. I think like he's ready for like the leadership like role of like a faction or something, and just going from there.
He still has a lot of broken
I don't think he needs.
That's
true. But at the same time,
AEW, like, but it just is as far as
as long as you fucking bash them motherfuckers' heads in, like it doesn't really fucking matter. I don't care if you got somebody like. To be a manager that's translated, I don't give a damn. Like, you could really do a lot of fucking damage with Konosuke as like the leader of a group because he is if he's not the best he's definitely top 5 best wrestlers in AEW.
He has the physique.
I think so.
Yeah, he's fire as shit. He's absolutely fire as shit. Like when he first signed,
he doesn't need to be.
It didn't seem like he was
the henchman for Callis.
You know, he shouldn't be. Don Callis sucks. He needs. Yes, yes, yeah. You're absolutely correct. But the ladder.
Jack Perry ends up climbing the ladder. He ends up getting the win for the TNT Championship, which we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I think similar to the sense of like when Edge had to relinquish it, you was already like just give it to him. Like he's clearly about to like win it for the elite, so they all can have the gold. It makes the most sense. It doesn't take away from the aspect that the ladder match was a good match, even if we knew the ending. Just because it was predictable doesn't mean that it wasn't entertaining.
Facts.
We talk about that all the time. It's definitely entertaining, and now we got the elite with all the gold, and I'm assuming that they probably will also grab in Mercedes too. I think Mercedes fits the elite idea. It would also help her out with like the heel work. I think that's where she like works out.
Yeah, they definitely teased them, talking and stuff. Yeah, I'm still. The ladder match was fine. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm still of the opinion that it didn't need to happen because it gave us another tournament. We get tournaments all the time. We didn't need that tournament, and also it would have gave the elite way more heat if they just gave it to Jack.
Took it right,
similar to I think it was what Eric Bischoff just gave the title to Triple H. It makes him seem more privileged. Like it would have been more heat, but just so having him earn it is still good. But I feel like if the point was to garner heat and make us hate him even more, make us hate the elite, you should have just gave it to him. Personally, but that's the past.
Yeah,
either way, he has it. Jack Perry.
Next match was Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer. This one early on, their crowd was like a little quiet. They weren't really into it, but these women start cooking like middle to like end of the match. From middle to the end of the match, they were just fucking cooking. Mm-hmm. Stephanie's a fucking like for sure solid like talent. I'm not saying that I want like Tony. Oh, go get her to AEW. No, I don't need all that, but I do think that like I will definitely tune into more like CMLL just to see like Stephanie work because she's fucking solid. Also, shout out to Mercedes. Like she's in ring, like still one of the best. One of the spots I had was Vacker's also one of those limb people, like she's targeting like knee shots. We got gut busters in here, the fucking money maker into like cross faces. Like there was a lot of solid fucking spots in here. But the end of it ends with Monet walking away as a double champion. And from here, we get the appearance of the DMD, Britt Baker. Now, your thoughts? Because I was freaking the fuck out. I thought this shit was fucking dope. I was like goosebumps, The Rock, Mana, right on the fucking forearms because I want this to happen.
So when I messaged you or when I responded to what you said, this was the moment when you were talking about like not let it breathe. The difference between AEW does this a lot where something big will happen and then instantly you get just someone there just to have a face off, or you'll debut two people at the same time.
With fucking Bryan and Adam Cole.
Yeah, and there's just like two other examples that I just can't think of. I just feel like you could have let the moment breathe. Mercedes is a double champion. Like they get the promo face battle, the following Wednesday. I feel like I don't know. It is what it is. It looked good. It came off good. My initial thoughts was just let it breathe, but at the end of the day, it panned out good, and then it gave us what happened on Wednesday, which was a decent back and forth. But yeah, Britt's going to eat her ass alive on the mic. It's going to get real spooky out there. Because if any of the if 1% of the rumors are true about Mercedes and how she acts backstage, if only just 1% is true, then and you combine that 1% with if 1% is true of Britt being a bully backstage or whatever, I'm not going to say it could get to CM Punk levels, but it might get spooky. But I also don't want to put that in the universe either. I just want to see it play out. But in AEW, you can shoot on the mic. And I'm very interested to see how she's going to handle going against a Britt or a JB Hater, in a what if scenario. What if someone does a hangman and goes into business and says something that she's not expecting? How's she going to react to it? Is she going to be able to recover? Because, again, her promos aren't her best suit. It's one of those things, just got to let time play out. I don't want to speculate. I'm not trying to, cause headlines or nothing like that. Not that we get headlines. But, I'm not going to just instantly say, oh, it's going to be like Punk or something. But I'm saying there's a chance shit could get spooky. That's it.
We'll find out. And hopefully it all just stays in the ring, because I think that's where it needs to stay.
It seems like those girls like each other outside of the
like,
business, so I don't think it'll.
Yeah, I think the women's division is pretty solid from what I've seen. I mean, you did have there was a beef like Thunder and shit like that, but at the same time, all of them are back now. All of them know what's at stake too. It's like y'all trying to be the best women's division, the best wrestlers. Like y'all got to come out here and fucking perform, and they have more than enough talent to fucking do it. They have more than enough talent to do it, and they still have talent on the fucking back burner on the women's side. So it's like you gotta show up or fucking show out. Overall, seeing Britt back was fucking great. I checked out this week's Dynamite, and she's talking about how she had the herniated disc, just the hip issue, and then she talked about how she was suffering from what was miniature symptoms of a stroke. So Britt definitely came back from a lot. And so shout out to her for pushing through this. Shout out to her. Shout out to her husband, Adam Cole, just being one-legged and also trying to help her out. This also makes sense why there was spots where Cole was just there and he wasn't there. They was going through some shit.
Yeah.
But that's in the past, and I'm glad to see Britt back in AEW, because she's definitely one of the AEW staples. Which also makes more sense to where if they do add Mercedes to the Team Elite, Britt is the Team AEW. That I think that fits really fucking well. All In is going to be a fucking show. Britt versus Mercedes at All In is going to be fucking nuts. And I will definitely be tuned in to check that one out.
I will say though, granted, we knew this was going to happen, and this is definitely one of their money matches. It it further makes Tony not look as important as a champion because there's more focus on the TBS.
You think so?
I definitely think so. You
Well,
have
like
you
I
have
think you can do
Mercedes, the
both. I
biggest.
think two things can both be true to where you can have the.
You have your wait. Okay, well, hold on. You have your biggest homegrown talent going after the secondary title, and you have your one of your newest signings, one of the biggest free agents ever, who went after the secondary title. What does that say about the main title? I'm not saying it. I'm not saying Tony looks weak. I'm
Well,
just
I
saying
mean,
it
for
doesn't
me,
look as important at the moment.
nah, I think like the Tony story is probably the most consistent story that they've been telling. And I think that with Tony, like it doesn't necessarily mean like the title's unimportant because they're building another star in in that same story. Like I think Mariah May is going to be one of like their biggest talents, and I would assume so. That's the reason why they brought her over from Stardom. I think that you needed to have an important factor with the TBS. I think anybody and everybody prior to, I'd say Willow had a very hard time pushing that TBS title to where it was equal with, the women's championship. And now, right now, I feel like it's equal, maybe a little bit better. And that's kind of what you wanted to do with the title anyway when you hired Mercedes. If that was the case, you would have made her women's champion. But you knew that you needed to have more pressure on the TBS championship side, and that's why you gave her the belt. You brought that bitch up, and now we have like two legit fucking titles that can kind of like main event, like Dynamites or Rampage and shit like that. That's how I see it.
Okay, I don't. All right, yeah. All right, well, we will. I'm gonna just let it play out. But I get what you're saying, and what you're saying is not wrong. But as far as optics go, to me, it definitely looks like the secondary title is more I don't want to say prestigious, but it's more important.
And
It's like if someone wants
that could also
Sammy's
be
title more than they
the
want
plan too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a
Just
good plan.
thinking about like from the TV aspect. No, it is because like the TV aspect. Like you want TBS to be like, damn, all right, TBS champions bringing a lot of money. So that looks good for TBS, which also looks good for like your TV deal, which brings in more fucking money. I would assume that would work out a little bit better, especially while they're going through contract negotiations and shit.
Right, but
like you wanted to put
it's almost like having both Roman. It's almost like having Roman and Seth go after the US right now instead of going after one of the main titles. Does that make sense?
Well, yes and no, because I look at it more so from the sense of like, just like business. Like it's the reason why Fox wanted Roman on SmackDown. Like you need something to draw, your attention over there. Not saying the Universal title was the Fox Championship, but they looked at it like that. That's why they wanted certain individuals to hold the belt. And honestly, that's why they only wanted Roman to hold it, because Roman was bringing in all the goddamn like attention.
I mean, yeah,
it's bigger politics at play, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's just TV shit, I guess, at the end of the day. But you are right in the sense of where, like, right now it feels like the big focus is on DMD and Mercedes, definitely more so than Mariah May and Tony. But at the same time,
they have a better story.
Arguably, probably like. They have a better story, but also Tony has one of the better women gimmicks in all of wrestling right now. I think I can confidently say that, like, character wise, I don't think anybody's like fucking with Tony.
Her gimmick is great
right now.
Yeah, no, it's not about that per se, but we talked about it. She's beaten everybody at this point except for Mariah, and it looks like that's the way they're going to go, and I think it's going to be great. But okay, so eventually so Mariah has the title, and then the secondary title is still being probably dominantly focused on, again, your two biggest women stars. And Mariah,
it just depends on Mariah's who is the angle.
Yeah, I don't want to overthink it. It's just optic wise, it's what I'm seeing currently. It's how I felt when I felt when Mox won the IWGP while Swerve is the champion. It's like you guys are giving Mox more. I don't like not screen time, but you made his title feel more important than Swerve, and Swerve is the first black champion. To me, it's a very similar thing, and it just doesn't. It's not smart to me. If it's being done purposely, it's not smart. And if it's not being done purposely, then someone should help course correct a little bit to where things feel. You have the A rank, the first place, the second place. Like you have there's levels to the for a reason. You have secondary titles, top titles, and cards. There's reasons for that, and they can all feel important. I don't know. I don't want to overthink it though.
There is, and I just think that like I said about the TUS, like there's just more politics at play. Well, like the IWGP is like, okay, well we knew that Forbidden Door is coming up, so you're trying to build like anticipation and excitement for the future, the New Japan talent coming over, but also making this title important so that people understand what was going on when Forbidden Door came, and then we get the Naito versus Moxley match, which
is the next match.
The next match.
That's a great segue.
I hate saying this about my boy because my boy's great, but he needs a reset. He needs a hard reset. To start off though, Mox comes out with his New Japan theme. He has everything New Japan right now, right during this match. Had a dope ass fucking track jacket, but this match didn't have a lot of energy for me. It was also one of those matches where I feel like you didn't necessarily need to have it on the card. It was still good, and that's not taking away anything from like Naito either, because Naito did pretty well as well. But just like I felt like the energy just wasn't there.
Yeah, he's a legend in his own right, but Moxley's style isn't the most high paced, obviously, and then also Naito, he's a legend. He's kind of old. I mean, he still works consistently, but he's one of the older guys. So like, I mean, it wasn't going to be the most.
It was definitely slower.
Match,
no. Nah. I knew like shit Naito was gonna win when fucking Mox hit like 2 Death Riders on this man, and it was like, okay, this man went through 2 of them and he survived. Naito hits what's called a Destino, solid fucking finisher. Mox also brings some chairs out of nowhere. I don't know, like if they have no DQ rules for the New Japan title, but this man was grabbing chairs and shit, which is the second time this man did this shit.
In the same week, I think.
Yeah. Either way, match ends with a Destino, and then Moxie loses the IWGP, and now we have no future plans for Mox right now. But I just think he needs a reset. I got to figure out, or I would hope they figure out, like what's the next thing to do with him. Just because him holding that belt kind of took him. Maybe that could be the case too. I would probably assume more so after All In that he would probably take like some kind of like vacation, just so he can like just recalibrate. Like Mox has been wrestling, he's been in everything. Like, and the thing is, the dude loves to fucking wrestle 24/7. So getting this man to take a vacation, good fucking luck. Yeah. But we got to figure out like maybe just another angle for him to approach right now. Whatever that may look like, I don't fucking know. But my boy needs a heart reset. Then we get the main event. Will Ospreay versus Swerve. First off, we get a Jim Jones appearance, which was not on my bingo card for hip hop rap collaboration. Jim Jones to be at Forbidden Door. But this was like the loudest, besides Jim Jones, but after like Jim Jones comes out, this is the loudest the crowd's ever been like during the entire night, which is also impressive because they were running late into the fucking night. I think it was like fucking midnight, 1 o'clock over on the East Coast, because it was definitely late over here. And
16 match fucking card.
I love this match. I think this was Swerve's best match that he had as a champion. I love what Ospreay did in this match, which was making Swerve look like the elite, like champion, looking strong as fuck throughout this entire match. We have dope like Swerve stomps from the top of the rope to the announce table. We have Olympic slams off the turnbuckle, power bombs, the Styles clashes from Ospreay, like just so many fucking spots of this match. It was so like high pace, high action. We got Os cutters into like from the turnbuckle. It was dope. We do get a ref shot though, to where there's a moment where the ref gets knocked down, similar to how that happened tonight with the Bloodline, and Will has an opportunity for the pin. He's counting, like the crowd's counting, but he doesn't get the chip because the ref is down. And then from here, it just all hell breaks loose. Like Swerve hits a hidden blade. We just get so many fucking dope spots in here. And what I liked the most about this match was as the match is coming to the end, we got like a fatigued like Ospreay to where like Swerve has been like giving this man the shit this entire time. And like now you see Swerve, we see like Swerve in a power position and Ospreay's like groggy, like he can't fucking do it. And like you kind of feel like this sense of like, damn, like this kid has no more left in him. And Swerve is like looking at him like, you're done, kid. Like it's a wrap. I thought the storytelling was great. I saw that, you know, afterwards there was like the tweet where he had said that he had done this, or that it came out that he wanted to do this to make, you know, Swerve look good.
Yeah, there was,
and it's one thing to,
he wanted to lead by example that anyone should be good losing to the world champion as well. Also, yeah, he didn't. Well, he wanted to eliminate the talking point of Swerve being a placeholder for him until All In.
Yeah, and we had that conversation because we were like, oh, well, you know, Ospreay's just going to get it. He's going to carry it into All In. Like, we've had the conversation about that. And it's one thing to talk about it. It's also another thing to execute it. And the way they executed was also pretty fucking good. Because if he did say this and the match was fucking trash, it's like, now the shit's just fucking ruined. But, like, to say that doesn't really hold any weight to me because the match was still fucking phenomenal. And it needed to happen. I talked about it before to where, like, Swerve needed to get this win over Ospreay to solidify him as, like, you know, a champion in AEW. And now you beat Ospreay like this, and nobody's beat Ospreay like this in AEW. It does put you in a different stratosphere. Like, it does, like, do things to where you're supposed to be looked at as, like, that elite guy. If you had Will Ospreay fucking groveling to you and he was like, you were too much for him. What they do with this momentum is completely up to them. But you can't squander the loss. You can't make this loss mean nothing going forward.
I mean, all that's good and dandy, and what you said was pretty much correct. But this that quote, that interview should not have came out. Like, at the end of the day, it should.
But I don't blame the talent for that.
I mean, Will's the one who said it. Who else do you blame? You can't blame the interviewer, the journalist. He shouldn't have, like.
No,
it's a good, like, it
because a good quote. But this world of media, like, you're not blaming Fightful because Fightful's great, but just like things always get taken too out of, like, you know, context based on, like, you know, just how we read it and shit like that. It's not that serious of a fucking, like, quote. It's good. It's like shouldn't have been said. I don't think it should have been. As a talent, I would never said it, but if it's out, it's out. You know,
he should not have said it. It does not make Swerve look good. It makes Ospreay seem like some super giving. It makes him super babyface. That's fine, whatever. But no, he shouldn't have said it. Like, and there's a way he could have worded it to where it's like, yeah, he beat me fair and square. Now all those weirdos on the internet, they can stop all that placeholder talk. Instead of saying I did the job for him, that should not have come out at all. Like, and it's not even a kayfabe, oh, like, don't peek behind the curtain type of thing. It's just like, character-wise, it's not a good look. It does, and especially right after, like, if you would have said that, like, in a book that came out in 3 years, sure, whatever. But you, like, that quote, that interview comes out, I think it was 2 days after the match. It doesn't make him look good. It's like, oh yeah, my friend didn't like the internet stuff, so he did the job for me to hopefully shut you guys up. Like, it's bad optics, and I don't know. Like, this is my first time using that word this many times, but it just does not look good. And Will just shouldn't have said it.
Was it like?
And if I was Swerve, I would low key
post the pay-per-view.
I want to say,
like, I'm not post, but I mean, was it like this, like a direct, like after the event, or was it like 2 days later?
It was, well, according to the tweet I'm reading, it was the 2nd, July 2nd. It, like, honest, look, I mean, wow. I'm not trying to make, like, I don't know, I don't want to make it a big deal, but to me, it's just one of those things where, you know, you shouldn't have said, like, to me, if I was Swerve, I'd be a little tight. It's like, why are you saying that? Like, that, like, it's not even like exposing the business type of thing, but it's just like, it feels like pity. It makes it seem like I'm doing this thing because I pity this person because I'm sick of all this bullshit online thing when at the end of the day, you guys shouldn't be focused on what these people are saying online. You shouldn't be focused on people like us and what we're saying on this podcast. You should be focused on entertaining.
And that's where the context matters, because the way you seen it and the way I see it was completely different. To where I thought it was the optics of like, well, you know, I'm Will Ospreay. I'm the guy that everybody like you wanted me to be here. You're trying to make me undefeated, and if I can lose, anybody can lose. Especially when we've been heard like rumors where like people in AEW don't want to put somebody over, or they don't want to put young talent over, or they don't want to do this, or they want to do that. To where if the guy, if the guy that's like, you know, the future of the AEW locker room, and he's that it guy, if he can lose to Swerve, anybody can lose, and that's what you're supposed to do inside the locker room. It shouldn't be ego telling you, "Oh, I shouldn't lose." I think that's how I read the quote, was that like, hey, I went in, I lost to this
That's
dude.
the right,
like, because I care about the business.
You're absolutely.
That's what Ospreay's always
right.
said.
No, and you're absolutely right. But he shouldn't have said it. As the audience, we would have gotten that message through the story of the match. We would have seen Swerve win and be like, oh, yeah, Ospreay, similar to what we just saw with Sammy and Braun. Braun took his first L, and it was a clean L. And it's like, okay, he has the loss out of the way. He's not going to do some Goldberg shit. There's a loss out of the way. Now it's like, okay, he's not perfect. He's not indestructible. But like you get that through us watching the match. We shouldn't get that through an interview. You get like you tell that if you told the story in the ring. I don't think it was meant for the audience. Well, you're interviewing. I think that's meant for the talent, right? But you're interviewing. If you're getting interviewed by Sean Rossap, it's going to be posted. He is a journalist. It is Fightful.
Yeah, we're gonna read it. But I think the statement was meant for like, you know, the roster of other people.
I understand that, but then niggas say that to the locker room. You do not say that to the news, is what I'm saying. Like, you say that to the locker room. You're like, look, I did this because the similar thing. If I could, no one should be uncomfortable losing to a champion. No one should have the ego to not do a job. It's wrestling. You're like, everything you're saying is correct. It just not. He shouldn't have said. You say that to the locker room personally. You don't say that to the news. When you know it's going to come out.
Then, like, we talked about how, like, you know, that was the optics of like Swerve being a paper champion or a transitional champion. That came from the media, right? So as much as like, you know, you're saying that like we shouldn't have heard this, the rumors started from the media, and for him to come out afterwards like, hey, I lost. You guys had it all wrong. Ha ha. This is how I felt about it. I'm just another guy on the roster.
Best example is Damian Priest.
That's how it should be, right?
Yeah, but the same things that people were saying about Swerve, people have been saying about Damian Priest. Did Seth or Drew or Jay say, yo, I took this, I wanted him to win so that you guys stop talking about Damian Priest? No. Did that probably happen? Sure. But we don't know about it because we should not know about it, is the thing. Like the same thing Swerve was going through.
We should know about it at the moment. If it came out 5 years ago,
in a book, sure.
After the pay-per-view.
It just happened, and you're like, yeah, man. Hey, I took this L on purpose because I want the chatter to talk, and I also want to be a good role model. Nigga, no, you say that behind the scenes. That is BTS stuff. We should not know that. Because it makes it like, again, we live in a culture where it's easy to make fun of people. I dislike Swerve, and I'm upset. This is like my 8th time defending this nigga in the last like 5 months. But
sound like a Swerve fan.
Come on now, I'll shut the shit up. I'll say my goodbyes. But no, he should have said that. That's all. But no, it's already been said. It's already been said. I just the best example I can give is Damian Priest, because like both conversations were happening at the exact same time. But Seth didn't say.
This is more so let the actions speak rather than you come out.
That's the whole point of wrestling. It's a story.
Say it down like 3 lines.
We get the story through the match. If he would have just lost, and like then everything you just said, like we would have gotten that through the match. It's like, oh, Ospreay took his first loss to Swerve. Holy fuck, Swerve is really that guy. He ain't a paper bub. Like, then as fans or the audience, we could be the ones being like, ha ha, I told you so. He's not a paper.
Yeah, you can
just like we're doing with Damian. Because we talked last week. He's like, oh man, if he loses, man, what does that look for his reign? Well, he didn't lose. He won.
You take away the aspect of us having the conversations about it, and like, you know, us, the fans, giving our opinions on the match and the outcome. and then you come with some backdoor statement the day after the pay-per-view, you're just like, oh, well, fuck, you didn't do this naturally. No. You start to question it, more so than like
anything. And as a troll,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, as a troll, like instead of like now, I could be like, you only have that because your friend pitied you. How and like now, like a troll could use that for ammo. Should anyone like take it for like fall for the bait? No, but now like that's a narrative that people can say now because you gave us a peek behind the curtain that we shouldn't have saw. So now I can be like, yeah, bro, you only got that shit because your friend felt bad. He should be having that shit. He's gonna get it in 4 months anyway. Yeah,
I saw because you're not the only one that had that same sentiment. 'Cause I definitely saw people like at Fightful, and then like Fightful defended like, hey, I asked him the question, he answered it, like, and I have the right to like post it, and I'm not mad at the media because Ospreay could just I asked it. You could ask Ospreay, he could be like, oh, no comment and whatever. But you're not the only one that had that same sentiment to where like, why do we know this? We don't need to know this.
Or if you answer, or if you answer the question, just answer it in character. Be like, he beat me clean. I guess all that paper talk is bullshit, huh? Because I couldn't do it. Well, shit, better luck next time or something. Yeah, you just answer it as a whatever. But
answer in character. That's true. I get you.
But, Swerve won. Yeah, so Ospreay got his first L. So yeah, now he's not similar to Braun Breaker. Like they're not impenetrable. And yeah, he lost to a champion. And Swerve beat someone who was undefeated, who's also a champion. So that's a good notch or accolade. So yeah, it's good. And like you said, whatever happens after this is really up to TK. But it looks like So since he's not the champion for All In, we might get him in MJF after what happened this last week or the last 2 weeks, but we'll see.
And I think that's a big one too. You're right. After this week, they got some shit to handle because MJF is that man's on one. Overall feelings to wrap it up. I give it a 3 out of 5. Which sounds insane, but it is. There's a lot of matches that I could have took away from the match and made it a little bit better. It might have been like a 4.5, maybe like 3 or 4 of these matches wasn't on the card. Takeaways was like 3 out of 5. MJF has no aura. Mox needs to reset, and then hopefully Hangman is like the catalyst that fucks up the Elite. Because right now I do not know where this angle ends at, unless you have Kenny coming back, and I don't know if Kenny will be ready to go by All In like that. He has been out for a while, and he was the last time we talked about him was like a couple months ago.
Yeah, and then we guessed it probably if he healed slowly, and I mean slowly to like what their minimum was, then I think we said November because I think it's supposed to be like a 6-month recovery or something like that.
Yeah, like a 6. Yeah, it was a pretty long recovery.
And that's not on top of like getting ring ready and like actually doing rehab and cardio and all that other shit.
So if it's not Hangman that fucks up the Elite, I have no idea who stops them. Shit, to be honest, it should be your champion. You should lean into the guy who is running the brand right now, the big like alpha. So hopefully that could be the case because that could also help out Swerve's case. I did put I did put Swerve Ospreay on my list of like match of the year because it was that good of a fucking match. And we have a quite a nice, solid group of matches in here. Like, yeah. So by the end of the year, we're gonna have some shit to talk about. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a lot.
We ain't done yet.
But no, that's what I'm saying. It's about to get crazy, especially if this bloodline angle shit start popping off. Like, I know Jacob Fatu gonna have one of them in there. Like, it's about to be nuts. But with that being said, we're gonna get out of here. That was our review of both of the premium live events and the pay-per-view of this week. Next week we should be back to regularly scheduled programming for focusing on the 3 shows. As we we're looking forward to the next pay-per-view, which should be.
If it's not SummerSlam. If it's not SummerSlam, then Blood and Guts. Or is that technically a pay-per-view or is that a TV special?
Yeah. I thought it was like a TV special.
Okay. TV pay-per-view.
But I think big pay-per-view would probably be SummerSlam. So we're back to like regular, just fucking weeklies for a minute. And then, yeah, we get SummerSlam to get Bash of Berlin. But without that being said, we're going to get out of here, people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was a good one. Shout out to all the talent and performers that went out and performed for us for this entertainment. We appreciate y'all. We're going to get out of here on the hot one. So with that being said, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Too sweet.